When I first started preparing for this TED Talk, I looked at the word restoration. And two words in that definition really stood out to me, which was renew and mending. In my personal story, you'll hear how my life was renewed many times through opportunities that I was given in my life. Mending's going to come up one time because I never thought I would be able to forgive the people for what they did to me. When I found out I was selected to give this TED Talk, I was really excited. I watched two special Olympic athletes do TED Talks. However, it was Gabby Yuri's TED Talk that got me excited about this restoration topic. Because as she did, I always asked myself, what is wrong with me? For the first 28 years of my life, that's what I always asked myself. And just after my 28th birthday, I started asking myself, what else can I do? I hope that my story will motivate you, inspire you, and help change what you are going through in your life right now. Growing up, in April 1981, I was born with a cleft palate and an intellectual disability. While growing up, I was moved home to home, family member to family member, and nobody in my family knew how to support me and take care of me because of my cleft palate and my intellectual disability. In elementary school, I was bullied every single day of my life, being called slow, stupid, dumb, retard. And every time I tried to talk to somebody to make friends, they would just turn and run as fast as they can to get away from me because they did not want to be seen socializing with the retard of the school who always stutters all the time. My mom fought the school district to keep me in mainstream classes instead of being placed in special education class. It was in the 3rd grade that I met and started working with a speech therapist that really helped me pronounce words, letters, and control my stuttering. While working with her for a couple years, it was the 5th grade when she found out that I had a cleft palate. Every doctor I went through to before this time never told my parents, never discovered the cleft palate. It was her that discovered it. Before the end of my 5th grade year, I had surgery on my cleft palate to get it repaired, and I thought it would help me in the stuttering, be able to pronounce words, and put a stop to the bullying. However, that was not the case. In middle school, it got even worse. Not only being called all the same names I was in elementary school, I was told that I would be worth nothing in my life, and you might well just go kill yourself. On top of that, the bullies would steal my lunch money and steal my backpack on a daily basis, and no teachers would help stop it at all. So I thought, why not put my lunch money in the backpack, buy little locks and lock my backpack shut? Maybe that might stop them. They still stole it. They shredded it with razor blades, and I found it 3 days later in the garbage can. That's how my life was growing up, and at that time I really realized that I only had 2 choices in my life. Go home and cry myself to sleep every single night, or stand up and fight my bullies after school. I chose to fight them. It was after my freshman year of high school, I was still getting bullied in school. My dad said, we're going to move to Lakewood. I was really excited about this move to Lakewood because my grandparents live in Lakewood. I loved spending time with them. And I also grew up playing sports in a Lakewood Youth Sports program. Getting to play basketball, flag football, and baseball year round. But I still was missing something in my life. And it was at the age of 13 that a Special Olympics coach came up to me and said, hey, why don't you join Special Olympics? And he handed me a form and said, go home and fill it out. I'm like, what is Special Olympics? Who is it for? And he goes, just take that form home and have your parents sign it and then come back and join our team. So that night, took the form home to my dad. I'm like, hey Dad, I want to join this program called Special Olympics. And he looked straight at me and said, son, you're not special. You don't deserve that program. And I'm just like, wow. So at the age of 15, the same coach came up to me and said, is the form filled out yet? are you able to join our team? I told him what had happened. I told him exactly what my dad said to me. And he goes, why don't you come meet some of the athletes in the program? And before I even get into the building to meet the athletes, 3 of them, Sam, Mike, and Link, all came up to me and asked me my name. After telling them my name, and they invited me to go play basketball with them, I'm out there on the basketball courts, noticing we got the same skills, we talk just like each other, and I asked them about their personal life and what they went through growing up, and they were bullied just like I was every single day. So I called the time out, I'm like, why did you guys join Special Olympics? And they all said, because it's a family. And right then and there, I'm like, can you 3 come home with me and talk to my dad for me? So these guys come home with me, they talk to my dad, and my dad reluctantly signed the form. The very next day, I joined Special Olympics, and I thought my life was renewed. I thought I found a safe place to go to, a place where I would not get bullied at, a place I could be myself at, and really make friends and build relationships. But that feeling did not last long, because I was still in high school. Every day in high school, I was still getting bullied, and I was only practicing 1 day a week with Special Olympics. Then in March of 1998, my life was renewed again, because I found a program inside Special Olympics called Athletes for Outreach, which is now Athlete Leadership Program. And it teaches athletes to find their voice and stand up to people rather than fighting people. And through this program, I found my voice. I found out I could stand up to the bullies instead of fighting them after school. I could put it into all the name calling and everything. But in the summer of 2004, I really never knew that my life would be renewed in such a way, possible like it was. In Special Olympics, we have a program called Healthy Athletes that gives free screenings for people's eyes, or hearing, their teeth, dietary guidance, fitness tests, to make sure we're the best that we can be. And my coach noticed my cheeks swelling up so big, and he asked me one day, Dustin, are you in any pain? I'm like, no, why? He goes, your cheeks are swelling up so bad, like you just had a tooth pulled. And I'm just like, I'm not feeling any pain at all. So I go on and I tell him, when I was 10 years old, I had a bad dental experience. They were performing a root canal using push pins, and it ended up shattering one of my teeth, causing me so much pain, where I was like, I'm never gonna go see a dentist ever again in my life. But that coach got me and I'm gonna go with you to this Healthy Athletes program. And I met a volunteer dentist there. And he goes, Dustin, you need to go get follow-up care right away, because I can't do as much screening that I can do here. And it was at this time, my coach did a call to his personal dentist and scheduled me an appointment to meet him. The very next week, I'm in his dentist's office, and he's doing x-rays. And after looking at the x-rays in the room, he comes back in, and a couple minutes later and says, Dustin, brace yourself. I got some bad news for you, but don't worry about it. I know how to fix it. And he goes on to tell me that I had gum cancer forming in the upper left side of my mouth. And I broke down in his chair, because at that time, the only thing I can think about is there's no cure for cancer. I thought I was gonna die. But a week later, I go 3 doors down from his office, and they do perform a surgery, getting my tooth, some of my gum, and some bone cut out of my upper left side of my mouth. And luckily it worked, where today, before you, I'm standing cancer-free with a renewed $1 million smile. At this time, I thought I was fully renewed. I have a life of survival story to share with people around the world. But God had other plans for me, because I really wasn't fully renewed, because there was still something missing. But that something missing came up when I was watching the movie Unbroken at the red carpet premiere. And if you guys haven't seen that movie, I strongly encourage you guys to go out and see it. For those of you who have not seen it, I'm sorry for spoiling the ending. But Louis Zamperini, a prisoner of war, was tortured every single day being captured by the Japanese. And he went back after the war was done and forgave everybody who tortured him. And at this time, I realized that I really never mended the fences with the people who bullied me and tortured me. So that summer, or the next summer, I told 2 people about that story and everything I share with you guys today. They happen to be ESPN producers. And that summer, we are getting ready to host the World Games here in Los Angeles. And they hired me as the ESPN analyst. I got to call the games and everything, but it wasn't really until the second night into the games that I found out the real reason why they hired me, to share my voice and my story with the world. It was that night that Jeremy Schaap did a piece about the word retard and how it should not be used in today's society. And I was in the studio with Kevin and Lindsay, and Kevin asked me, Dustin, if you can talk to the bullies right now today, what would you say to them? And I say, I want to meet them and say that I honestly forgive each and every single one of you. I want to mend fences with you guys. I want to be friends with you guys. Because little do you know, you are the reason why I am here today where I am in this position. So I'm going to challenge each and every one of you guys. If you guys are ever put in that opportunity, help somebody renew their life. Renew your life by helping them out of that situation. And I'm going to leave you with this last quote. We all have a voice, and a voice is the most powerful thing in the world, and we can change the world one story at a time. Thank you.